She said she had a single beer with lunch. Longmont police said that must have been some beer because she appeared pretty far gone when she allegedly drove into another SUV, then drove back to class. Teachers like Jessica Brady are the exception, not the rule, but shouldn't the people taking care of your kids at least be tested for drugs or alcohol?
Plenty of parents we spoke with say absolutely. Even a Colorado superintendent was surprised it's not a requirement. But as Denver 7's Tom Mustin shows us in tonight's 360 report, not everyone feels it's necessary.
And I've never ran into a teacher who has a problem.
They teach our kids reading, writing, and arithmetic.
People that are educating our students, we hold them to a higher standard.
But when we say higher, do we mean that literally?
One bad apple is not going to ruin the whole bunch.
That may be true, but in the past week, 2 bad apples have given Colorado teachers a black eye. February 20th, 27-year-old teacher Krista Lares was fired after admitting to bringing in meth to an inmate at the Denver County Jail, where she's an instructor. The next day, police arrested Longmont teacher Jessica Brady for allegedly driving drunk to school. Under current law, Colorado teachers are not required to be drug tested when hired.
But if a reasonable suspicion is brought to our attention, then we have to immediately take them, we escort them to a drug testing center.
But is that too little, too late? And should the policy change to keep our children safe? Let's go 360 and get some perspective. We'll hear from parents who say the current drug testing policy gets a failing grade, teachers who say the hiring system is fine, others who say the district can't financially afford to change, and a school administrator who abides by the current drug testing policy but believes it could use some tweaking.
I worked in another state, and we were all required to be drug tested.
Tracy Rudnick is the spokesperson for Adams-Weld 27J schools. The county includes 1,200 teachers and 18,000 students. She says the 2 recent teacher arrests are isolated incidents and not an issue in her district.
It hasn't risen to the level here in 27J to become such a problem that we have to rethink our policies.
Tracy came from Florida, where teachers were drug tested before hiring. In Colorado, teachers are given a background check, but Tracy admits that may not be enough.
As far as my personal opinion, I think if you are working with students, you probably should be tested, but that's not our policy here.
Parent Nick Lucero has 2 daughters in Denver public schools.
I don't want them to get an education from a drunk teacher or a drugged up teacher, man. That's just wrong, you know.
Now, the state has no hard numbers for teachers arrested for being under the influence, but Doug Coe, Jeff Coe, and Denver all say the numbers are minimal. Even so, Nick says drug testing for teachers is long overdue.
I would most definitely want all the teachers to get drug tested and, you know, have breathalyzers if possible.
DPS teacher Amber Haynes says there are thousands of teachers in her district alone. And she says 2 random cases don't justify giving dunce caps to all teachers, and no policy change is needed.
I don't think it's something that needs to happen. I think it was just a bad example of teachers.
10-year Denver teacher Bethany Gendrich says teachers under the influence is just not a thing.
And I have not once been concerned or witnessed anything like that.
She adds even if DPS wanted to change its teacher hiring policy, the cash-strapped district couldn't afford it. Now, right now, there are no plans to change drug testing requirements for Colorado teachers. And Bethany says she's hoping the 2 recent incidents will be the last, and we can all graduate to more pressing problems.
I hope that I never hear about any teachers or staff members being under the influence of anything.
Tom Mustin, Denver 7.